Bhavya, there is a methodology, a certain madness to the way Imran Khan functions and works. There's method to a certain madness. That is Imran Khan Niazi for you. He was trying to pass a message, not just to the opposition parties of Pakistan. He was trying to pass a message to the people of Pakistan, that it is because of you that I get abused. And these ghatiya log, they abuse me. In a way, see, it has various interpretations. Obviously, somebody from the Pakistan Tehreek Insaf will say that, he never said it to the people of Pakistan, he meant the opposition parties. But, these things can never be pointed out perfectly. I cannot say for sure, but yes, definitely he's gone ahead and by making it generic, he's left it open to interpretation. Who did he call ghatiya log? The people of Pakistan, the opposition parties? There is a deep sense of frustration inside Imran Khan right now, in his heart, in his mind. वो ज़हन में बहुत एक frustration है Imran Khan के, and this frustration stems from the fact that he promised the moon. Within a month, I'm going to get back $200 billion. Within 10 days, I will hang everybody who's corrupt. Nawaz Sharif will go to jail. Zardari will go to jail. An extremely pompous man, Imran Khan. A man who's full of himself. A man who thinks that just because he won the 1992 World Cup in cricket, that makes him Prime Minister material. And it's not just his fault. It is the millions of followers that he has on social media and even outside who repeat this lie to Imran Khan. And Imran Khan is extremely naive. That is my sort of understanding of the man. So when he says ghatiya log, he's putting himself on a pedestal. It's like saying you dirty people. You people who belong to a strata of society that is not equivalent to mine. In that sense. And this is not the language that the Prime Minister of a country should be using, or anybody should be using for that matter. His language is getting worse. And even if you look at the followers of Imran Khan, the youth brigade of the Pakistan Tehreek Insaf, those are the people on social media who are most poisonous, most vicious, and the least informed. Not an iota of grey matter. It's just like vomiting abuses on social media. And they take after their leader. This is exactly what Imran Khan does now. Not that I mean to belittle the Sarpanch at the village level. I don't mean to belittle anybody, because everybody is doing his job and everybody is worthy of respect. But even in Sarpanch elections, they don't talk like that in India. They don't talk like Imran Khan. There could be good people, bad people. There could be people who are corrupt. There could be people who are honest. There are all sorts of people in politics, in every country. Why just India and Pakistan? Every country in the world, there are all kinds of people. But every politician knows what to say when, except for Imran Khan and his merry band of ministers who have look at Fawad Hussain Chaudhry. He has no clue what to say, and he keeps on talking. Look at Shah Mahmood Qureshi, the External Affairs Minister. He was recently speaking about Xi Jinping, the Chinese premier, and the way he was talking about the head of state of China. It was almost abusive is not the term, but he did not give that diplomatic respect that needs to be given to a head of state.
मलेशिया और बात है, चाइना की बात हो रही है। चाइना किसी को अलाउ नहीं करता।
सर हम लॉजिक में है ना, वायरस का जो एक है वो वैक्सीनेशन है, क्वारंटीन है। पाकिस्तान में भी
यार मुझे क्या समझा रहे हो, मुझे नहीं पता।
कोशिश कर
चीन की पॉलिसी है, वो नहीं करना चाह रहे। उनका प्रेसिडेंट शी कहीं निकलता ही नहीं है, मिलता ही नहीं है किसी को। हमारी मीटिंग उसे रखी है, उन्होंने कहा कोई होगा, पहले टेस्ट होगा, ये होगा, एक बंदा निकले।
खाते में तो आपके बच्चे मार दो।
तो यार मेरा कसूर नहीं है ना, कोरोना हम तुम लेकर आए। बेटा हम तो कोशिश कर रहे हैं और करेंगे, जो हमारे बस में है हम करेंगे।
सर कोई और अल्टरनेटिव भी नहीं है?
मैं तो ऑलरेडी है ही नहीं, ऑलरेडी यही है बेटा। मुझे पता है जो हम कर सकते हैं बेटा हम करेंगे, हम करेंगे। हमारा कोई, हम क्यों चाहेंगे कि आपकी तालीम खराब हो, हमें क्या हासिल होगा? बेटा तुम्हारा ख्याल हम नहीं करते हैं, तुम्हारा ख्याल हम नहीं करते हैं। पूरा सिटी बंद कर दो यार, 2 साल अगर कोरोना बढ़ेगा 2 साल और हो सकते हैं।
Look at Sheikh Rashid. These people just can't stop talking and they're causing damage to Pakistan. Imran Khan, by being openly abusive to the people. Just imagine what Imran Khan says. Forget about being abusive. Just imagine what Imran Khan says, all right? In a televised interaction with the public, there is a woman who called him from Rawalpindi, which is not far from Islamabad. It's like a twin city almost. And so this woman calls him, a housewife calls him from Rawalpindi and says, the prices of pulses and sugar and everything has gone up. And here is Imran Khan telling her that no. Even in Germany, Switzerland, Europe, the rest of the world, the prices have gone up. This is an international phenomena. He expects a housewife in Rawalpindi to tell her children that, beta, I cannot feed you because, the same situation exists in Germany, which is not true, by the way. Which is not true. This whole Germany, England and European Union thing that Imran Khan keeps on saying, that's not true. But this is Imran Khan's logic. That a mother in Rawalpindi or a mother in Sialkot or a mother in Quetta or in Karachi or in Lahore or in Hyderabad, Sindh or in any other city or town or village in Pakistan, when her children are crying of hunger, she should take heart and say that no, don't cry. Because somewhere in the world this is happening. This defies all logic, but that is Imran Khan for you. That is Imran Khan for you. He keeps on parroting the same lie again and again and again, and it's not even a lie actually. He actually believes it to be the truth of it. I'd like our viewers to see this video before I answer this question.
इंशाल्लाह ये भी टर्म पूरा करेगी, अगली भी टर्म पूरी करेगी ये हमारी पार्टी, अगली टर्म भी। ये भी आज मैं आपको कह रहा हूँ कि हम इतना मुश्किल वक्त से निकले, किसी गवर्नमेंट को वो चैलेंजेस नहीं मिले जो हमें मिले। लेकिन मैं आपको एक और जरा खबरदार करना चाहता हूँ, अगर मैं गवर्नमेंट से बाहर निकल गया, मैं आपके लिए ज्यादा खतरनाक हूँ। अभी तक तो मैं चुप करके या ऑफिस में बैठा होता हूँ और तमाशे देख रहा होता हूँ। मैं अगर सड़कों पर निकलाया ना, तो आपके लिए छुपने की जगह नहीं होगी।
I think Imran Khan is threatening his army chief because Imran Khan knows that he was brought into power by the Pakistan army, especially General Qamar Javed Bajwa, right? And also Faiz Hamid, the former ISI chief, who's now I think Corps Commander Peshawar or something like that. So you see, all these people, they brought Imran Khan to power thinking that he will behave and he will do something good. Imran Khan always thought that running the Pakistan cricket team was just like running Pakistan, and since he was able to do this, he would be able to do that. Now, obviously, it didn't pan out too well, right? Also, recently he was asked, what about another extension to General Bajwa? And he says, it's still a long time away and, we'll think of, you don't talk of the army chief in such a fashion in Pakistan. He could have said it diplomatically. He could have said that we will let you know, and we are in discussion with various bodies, and a thought through decision will happen whenever it happens. There is this kind of hero worship which is happening within the PTI. And I understand hero worship, it happens in India also. But in India, hero worship follows ability and delivery. So in India, if you hero worship, that means you have delivered to the people and you're worthy of that hero worship. Be it right or wrong, but you have delivered, you've actually done something on the ground. Imran Khan has done nothing. I'm sure all of us remember the scenes of Afghans trying to flee Kabul after 15th of August. Running helter and skelter. That desperation is starting to set in Pakistan. I'm not saying people are lining up. But yes, the middle class has started collecting dollars. They've started collecting dollars. They've started speaking to their relatives in London and Dubai. This is a sinking ship, Bhavya. And Imran Khan says that we will be in power for the next 10-15 years. Good for India, actually. Good for India. We hope and pray that Imran Khan remains in power for the next 20 years. We would love it. But the fact of the matter is, this man has singularly damaged Pakistan. You know, Pakistanis always accuse India of trying to damage Pakistan. I would just like to assure the people of Pakistan that you don't need India or India's intelligence agencies to damage Pakistan. Imran Khan is doing a fantastic job. He's damaging Pakistan every day just by speaking. His ministers, you know, a thing which would be innocuous in a drawing room conversation gets blown out of proportion because the two people who are sitting in that frame. So that photo, if we can put it up. Here is Shah Mahmood Qureshi, the External Affairs Minister of Pakistan, speaking to the Saudi ambassador to Pakistan. Imran does not realize that what he says every day has consequences not for him, because he will go away. If not after 1 year, he'll go away after 5 years, after 10 years. Whenever he goes away, that the people of Pakistan or the Pakistan army will decide when he has to go. But the fact of the matter is, he does not realize that this has consequences for Pakistan. This has global consequences for Pakistan. For example, Shah Mahmood Qureshi made that comment that if the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, you know, that group of Muslim countries, 57 strong, you know, led by Saudi Arabia, of course, because Mecca and Medina are in Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia obviously pays a lot of money to the OIC to, get it rolling and going. He said that if they do not sort of take up the Kashmir issue, we'll form another Islamic bloc. By that he meant Turkey and Malaysia and etc., etc. Just by making a statement, neither did they manage to make the bloc. All right, they've not made that bloc. Of course, they could not have made it. And they upset Saudi Arabia. And they spoiled relationships with countries needlessly. For example, America. When America exited from Afghanistan, Imran Khan went on national television and he said, "Ye azadi ka din hai, Afghanon ke liye, zehni azadi ka din hai." You know, entire Pakistan celebrated. You think America is not watching? Who pays for IMF, by the way? What is the source of IMF's income? You think the Americans are stupid? You think the Americans don't know what is going on? They are the world's only superpower. They didn't become a superpower by being stupid. Imran Khan thinks everybody else is stupid. You can keep on abusing Prime Minister Modi, you can keep on abusing the Americans, you can do whatever nobody will respond to Pakistanis. They don't think Imran Khan is worthy of a response. But the problem is, in the long term, the people of Pakistan will pay. And that is sad. This is something that upsets me greatly, because the common Pakistani should not have to pay because of the shenanigans of his Prime Minister. That shouldn't happen, but that is going to happen, and that is already happening. IMF is making Pakistan crawl in the mud for $1 billion. What is $1 billion? It's nothing. It's nothing. But IMF is making Pakistan crawl for $1 billion. And even if Pakistan gets that entire package of $6 billion, what will happen? What will happen? It's going to last 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. Again, Pakistan will crawl. And they will keep on crawling. Because they don't realize they're not fixing the problem. They're just living day to day. It's like a teenager with a credit card. While he's shopping, he doesn't realize that early next month he has to pay the credit card bill. He's just happy swiping the card. That's what Pakistan is doing. Pakistan is like a kid with a credit card. So, Bhavya, the Tapi gas pipeline is Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India. This gas pipeline has been in the works for quite a long time. Okay, essentially Russia will send gas, or the Central Asian republics. I still tend to think of them as Russia because I grew up in a time when they were Russia, which is not the right thing to say actually, because they are independent countries. But that is what comes to mind, and of course Russia is involved. Russia is involved because these countries don't have the muscle to do it. Russia does. Idea is to build a pipeline. And idea is to build a pipeline that goes from Turkmenistan through Afghanistan, through Pakistan to India. And tomorrow, who knows? Who knows? Maybe beyond, maybe to Bangladesh. You don't know. Maybe to Bangladesh. Fact is, Afghanistan is unstable. Okay? Afghanistan. Taliban may be gung-ho about this, Bhavya. Taliban might say it's a great idea. Of course it's a great idea. Of course it's a great idea. But I've been saying it for such a long time, and the Pakistanis always said, no, Major, you don't know what you're talking about. You're talking through your hat and stuff like that. And now today Pakistanis are saying exactly what I've been saying since 15th of August. That the Taliban are not a homogeneous entity. I started saying this first. That the Taliban are not a homogeneous entity. Pakistanis always said that there are two kinds of Taliban. The good Taliban, which is the Afghan Taliban, which is under the thumb of the Pakistani army and the intelligence agencies, and the bad Taliban, which is the Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan, which is attacking Pakistani, still attacking, have attacked in the past, etc. Now, Pakistani media narrative has changed for the past 1 or 2 months, 6 to 8 weeks. Their tone and tenor and language has changed. And suddenly they have said that, no, the Afghan Taliban and the Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan are basically the same entity, two sides of the same coin. Even the most rabid anchors, who were almost Talibani themselves, all right, Urdu speaking Taliban or Punjabi speaking Taliban on screen. These were the people who were saying that, no, Taliban aa gaya, ab to ji balle balle hai. Now, of course, everything is sorted out and we will get Kashmir. You know, that lady also said, Bhavya, that Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf lady said that now Kashmir is ours because the Taliban has promised that we will get Kashmir. The issue is that they are getting attacked every day. The Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan has the blessings of the Afghan Taliban. They are killing Pakistani citizens every day. And without even talking to Pakistan, they unilaterally sort of revoked the ceasefire. They said, nahi, koi ceasefire nahi. And they started hammering the Pakistan. They've been doing it. The Baloch are now active. The Baloch are active. Recently, the Baloch attacked Lahore, which is a big thing, by the way. The Baloch attacked Lahore. They are attacking Karachi. They are attacking Islamabad. I'm talking about the TTP, not the Baloch. The Baloch, of course, carried out that attack in Lahore, the heart of Lahore. So what is happening in Pakistan is that Pakistan says Afghanistan is unstable. The fact of the matter is Pakistan is more unstable. And I'll tell you why it's more unstable than Afghanistan. There is a reason. We know Afghanistan is stable. We know Afghanistan does not just have the semblance of a government. Otherwise, there is nothing in Afghanistan. We know they have no banking system, right? Carrying out acts of terrorism and actually running a government are two very different things. But we have known this about the Taliban. The world is now coming to know about Pakistan, that the Pakistani state is inept. That is why it is more unstable. It has nuclear weapons, and God knows who's looking after those nuclear weapons. It is almost broke. Taliban, we know Taliban is broke. We know Afghanistan is broke. But here is the Pakistani government taking loan after, and every loan they take, it makes Pakistan more unstable. Every time they go to any international body, including China, including the Gulf states, the Arab states, and I'm counting everybody, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, everybody, Gulf countries, everybody. Every time they go to the Asian Development Bank, every time they go to the Chinese, the Americans, the Europeans, they become unstable. Pakistan will have the power to simply switch off the gas. Which is why I feel India should not take any interest in Tapi, gas pipeline. Just let it be. We have gas. We have gas, we have petrol. We don't need, of course it will be cheaper. But the fact of the matter is you can't trust. That is why you made the Chabahar port, right? You made the Chabahar port because you can't trust Pakistan. You can't trust Pakistan. They have not allowed India to use their overland route to trade with Central Asia and Afghanistan. Even when we wanted to send wheat, they created such a shindy, नहीं जी हम नहीं जाने देंगे, we will put our flags, our trucks and all that nonsense. And this will keep on happening with Pakistan. You cannot depend, the world cannot depend, forget about India, the world cannot depend upon Pakistan. They're not trustworthy partners. See, first of all, the solution is very clear to this entire terror strikes that are happening in Pakistan, right? But the problem is that Pakistan is not going to bite the bullet, because they still think that this is a good terrorism I'm talking about, Bhavya, is a good capability to have. That is the way Pakistan looks at it. It's a good thing to have against India. It is a good thing to have against Iran. The thing is that there is an expiry date on terrorism. It doesn't work. It's no longer working in Kashmir. There are small little incidents, a grenade attack here, a drive-by shooting here. But those days of mass level terrorism in Kashmir, those are over, done with, dead. And I don't think they're coming back anytime soon. The thing is that Pakistan needs to realize that if it wants to become a modern nation state, it must take action against all terror organizations, including the Lashkar-e-Taiba and the Jaish-e-Mohammed. You cannot say that, okay, we dislike the TTP, so we will take action and do operations against TTP. But Hafiz Saeed is okay, because he's killing Indians, he's not killing Pakistanis, so he's a good guy. It doesn't happen like this, because this is the same stunt that they tried with the TTP and the Afghan Taliban. They were saying Afghan Taliban are great guys. It is the TTP. There are a bunch of crooks and criminals and terrorists. So let's do operations against the TTP, but let's sort of ask for recognition for the Taliban. So this is something that they were trying to say for a very long time. Today they realize that they were wrong. And I've been saying this since 15th of August. You are wrong. You cannot control the Taliban. Nobody can control the Taliban. The Taliban cannot control the Taliban. Forget about Pakistan. Pakistan is too small. The Taliban cannot control the Taliban, because the Taliban is splintered in between. There are many factions, not just two. There are many factions. And they're based on tribal loyalties. The latest public statement by the Islamic State Khorasan chapter was in Pashtun. Why was it in Pashtun? There are people from Taliban who are joining ISIS. There are ISIS people who are joining Al-Qaeda. The Al-Qaeda people are joining Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. Because their aim is the same. Their aim is the same. The creation of an Islamic state. The aim is the same. So therein lies the problem. Pakistan is choosing and picking what it wants to do in its anti-terrorism efforts, quote unquote. It says it will take action against TTP. And grudgingly say that, okay, now we must also have a conversation with the Taliban is not impressed with Pakistan's conversations here. They're very clear. The TTP is very clear. The TTP is willing to take on the might of the Pakistani state. And they have been doing it every single day. They don't care. They're willing to die. But the problem is that Pakistan says they are terrorists and Hafiz Saeed is not. That's not okay. Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan are a bunch of terrorists. Lashkar-e-Taiba is a terrorist organization. Jaish-e-Mohammed is a terrorist organization. Hizbul Mujahideen is a terrorist organization. Take action against everybody, and then Pakistan will have peace, and then this part of Asia, South Asia, will have peace. Without that, there is no peace. We are extremely peaceful, touch wood, in India, because we managed to sort these people out. You know, all these quote unquote these funny Mujahideen so-called groups operating in Kashmir. But today, look at the data. All right, look at the data. Pakistan tried to do terrorism in Kashmir. Today, attacks in Pakistan, terror attacks in Pakistan, are more than 10 times than in Kashmir. So, you know, if you breed snakes, when they grow up, they will bite you. And this is what is happening to Pakistan.